What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball Fighters for y'all. So today I wanted to talk about Cooler, both his strong points because he's a very unique character in this game, but also his issues and why, despite his strong points, people don't really play him like that. Unlike last week's character, Trunks, this character is really uncommon. The people who do play him generally like them, or they really like the good parts about him. But for the most part, he's really underplayed. And as usual, if you like all the character guides, match analysis, and everything else I put on this channel, definitely consider liking this video or subscribing to the channel if you already have not. It does help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Cooler, so he's been in the game for a while, and he's seen a little play in tournaments in Season 1 and Season 2. He's pretty underrepresented in tournaments in general. So once we get to around Season 2, the main reasons that people don't play him are the usual common things where he doesn't have a 2-0 low, people really like that, people like Kid Buu and characters like that, and that he's a tall character. If you did not play Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2 or 1, then you might not know that tall characters in this game were really vulnerable to a mix-up called the offensive fuzzy mix-up, where they could be hit by rising overheads in certain situations. And unlike other fighting games, because this tactic does exist in many fighting games, in Dragon Ball it is much easier to combo off these type of hits. So in a game where they try to curb the mix-up opportunities or make it difficult for you to get strong mix-ups consistently, playing a tall character basically, especially once we got to Season 2 and they took a lot of the old mix-ups out from Season 1, was a really easy, consistent way to get mix-ups. So it discouraged a lot of people from playing this character, despite his good points. So what are his good points? One, he has huge normals, and this game, and a game with really small characters in general, having large normals is great for neutral. So take Master Roshi for instance, right? My man's Master Roshi with the Gucci shades. So he's got a good jab, but that's pretty much his best normal. Like, his slide doesn't go very far, his 5M is whatever, his 2H is okay, he goes backwards, but for the most part, he has really small buttons in general. Now, when you compare them to Cooler, Cooler has this massive 2B, massive JM. He has a jab like Cells that's tall. He can travel across the screen with special moves. He's very mobile and he has really large normals. It's a definite plus and a nice thing to have in this game. His corner carry is also pretty good as well. Even with a basic combo, he has a horizontal jump 2H, so you will very often reach the corner from basically anywhere. And speaking of being mobile, it's not just this. He also has a dive kick, which really helps with his mobility, and he has ways to stall out in the air between jump too heavy and his ki blast. He also has his own plus frames. The dive kick jails into vanish, and the medium version is plus. The EX version is also plus. Having your own plus frames in this game is definitely a strong point. This game is basically balanced around you cycling offense with moves that are disadvantageous. So having a way to make yourself advantageous is a huge plus, especially because he has really big normals. His pressure is also pretty good because of this, because he can attack safely from here. So where this would normally be -5, this is like -1, and he has normals that reach at this range. And finally, as an effect of him having big normals, he has a really good traditional conditioning game for offense. So where he doesn't have like a good high-low 50-50 per se, his cross-up reaches at point blank here, so you can condition people very well around Dragon Rush, which does a lot of damage. The assist support he has is really good as well. So he has this A assist. This is what he had in Season 1 and Season 2. It's a DP assist that catches people jumping very easily. Things like super dashing and calling him have been very common. But the other nice thing about it too is that he usually lands behind people. So if you can like do something to make the opponent be not on the screen, he will land behind them and you can set up mix-ups like this. In Season 2, he used to do this a lot with Snap, but in Season 3, I haven't seen it so much. He also has a C beam. That's definitely a really nice thing to have, and a lot of people want a beam assist on their team, whether or not it's a standard one or a C assist. And his B assist works like the normal, so it beats projectiles and it's head invincible. Okay, this move is a really threatening move that controls neutral a lot. That's how good it is, and they gave it to him as an assist as well. But of course, there are some issues with him, and I think these reasons are probably the main reasons you don't see him very much. So one, he does have a DP and his defense is good. The DP has a pretty major flaw, and his reversal's main flaw is you can low profile it. This is pretty uncommon in the game that you can dodge a Dragon Punch like that, so that's a really big issue. Now 2, as I mentioned before, he has a really good traditional conditioning game in Dragon Ball, and in order to expand on this, it's around the Dragon Rush, right? So you have things like using 6M to open up your timing, crossing them up, and he has a really good one. You could choose to make himself plus to reset pressure. He has a bunch of ways to kind of enforce this. When am I going to do it? I'm going to mess with your timing and try to get this return Dragon Rush. Compared to other characters, he has a couple of issues with his conditioning game. One being that his cross-up is not that fast. So Android 21's you can see there is 10 frames. Hers is really fast though. So his is 12, so it's a little bit slower on the cross. Even though it's there, it's a nice option to have. It's slower than other characters. The other thing too is that characters like 21 or Broly or Cell, they are able to run this type of conditioning game, but they also have other stuff to make their offense scarier. So 21 is really good at this traditional style guessing game, conditioning game. She's usually the character that I practice Dragon Rush against, but she also has a command grab, and she has a low 2L, so she has like high-low options if you can set it up or get the opponent to respect you. Where characters like Vegito have like same side JS or instant air dash cross up, Cooler has no such option at all, unfortunately. Also, I think while this B assist is really unique, I do think a beam or even a key blast or tracking assist does something really similar to this. It's nice that he has that as an option, but his A and C assists are much better options overall if you're going to play him anyway. With that in mind, he has his A assist, which he's had since Season 1, and he has his C assist, the new C beam. As far as C beams, you have a lot of other options for C beams besides him. You have characters like Kid Buu or Base Goku, Gotenks, they all have a C beam as well. Now as far as A assist, there isn't a lot of other options for invincible DP assists, but the options that are available are better and already more popular. You have characters like Teen Gohan, which is kind of in the same lane as Cooler straight up, and UI Goku as well. You can count Roshi in that group also, and barriers like Android 18, Android 17, so there's a lot of other options you have besides this. And last, as far as assists, C beams aside, you have a lot of options on A and B assists as well. So not just beam assist straight up, but also the beam like projectile assist, like Android 21's A assist, Broly A assist, etc. So essentially, despite his unique strengths, and definitely the main strengths he has are his huge normals, good frame traps and spacing, conditioning, and his defense. His defense itself, especially the Dragon Punch, has flaws, and things that he offers a team a bunch of other characters can give, specifically because Season 3 just gave people more assists and new characters that have come into play, like UI and Roshi. So that plus the stigma left over from Season 2 tall characters, and he's not really commonly seen. The people who do play him really do enjoy him, and you do get that little buff of he's an uncommon character, so people don't really know what they're doing against him. But overall, despite what he has available, if you were trying to build like a really super solid competitive team, there's usually better options. To the point that even the main remaining Cooler player, Kaiden, who I showed at the beginning of the video, me playing him back in the Season 2 World Finals, played UI Goku instead of Cooler for the France National Finals. But that's it for this video. Hopefully that all made sense. I've actually always liked playing him too. I always had like a pocket Cooler. I'll play him like every patch a little bit because I always think like, man, his neutral control is so good, his neutral control is so good. But in the end, this issue of other characters do what he does better always seems to come up, so I never stick with it. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.